Peace to the family. This is an episode of The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, episode 14. The title of this video is called The Beast. Now, on my channel, we've been doing some things in relations to. Give me 1 second, family. Let me know. 1 second. So, peace to the family. So, on the channel, we've been discussing. See if I can get a little closer to the mic. So on my channel, we've been discussing the power of illusion. We've been discussing glamour. We've been discussing Maya. And for a lot of people, well, I guess not a lot of people, I guess myself, I was really understanding why I was being led to study these subjects. And now I'm in a point in time where I can understand why I've been studying these subjects. So, the first thing that we'll be talking about is the illusory truth effect, where illusion, truth, and glamour come together and give us the ideas of facts and give us the idea that we are actually in the realm of truth. Then we have to understand the root or the modality for which people actually learn this shit. So let me turn this off, it's bothering me. So I'm going to read. I know y'all love when I read, but I'm going to read the chapter, Revelations 13, in full detail. But I'm going to stop in between me reading and come back to these initial slides. So I'm just going to give us some background for Revelations 13. And then I'm going to come back here and then I'm kind of explain this stuff to us. And so we can kind of really understand what's happening from a psychological point of view. So on one round, we have psychological effects, which represent our mind and behavior. Our behavior is from our brain and our mind is in our heart, right? Our electromagnetic sphere. And then we have physiological, which is the chemical, physical reactions to our environment. So psychological is more powerful than physiological. However, everybody studies physiological responses to environment and nobody studies the psychological or the psychogenic effects. And this is why. Because the psychology is much stronger and can control your mind, body, and soul and overall direction. And if people hijack your psychology, then they begin to direct it. So, what is happening is an illusory truth effect. And this is the tendency to believe false information after repeated exposure. So, almost every single day, not almost, every day, even on Sunday, the Chris Brown task force appears on the evening, giving us an update of this Chris Brown situation, him and Rihanna. And so, as these things keep happening over and over and over again, people who don't understand the illusory truth effect begin to accept all of this as fact. And once they accept it as fact, they begin to change their physiological correspondence. So this disease out here that make you sick. And understand that the repetition has existed all the way back since 2001 with the anthrax, then the Ebola, then the H1N1, and then the SARS, and then the whatever, so forth and so on. So if they keep repeating these things over and over and over again, because We don't understand our psychological things, we don't understand how the psychology of us determines whether we'll be sick, determines whether we'll be happy. Um, this is all that it is. But if they're telling you that no, it's a disease out here that's killing you, and they tell you it every single day. Chris Brown, Chris Brown, Chris Brown, Chris Brown, Chris Brown, Chris Brown. Yo, I didn't really time to go. I tell you how you say that. So the familiarity of this disease, of these things, becomes to overpower all rationality and begins to break you down as you begin to then look at something over and over again and begin to absorb it and process it through your mind. So the paradox of studying rationality is when you look at something that seems to be facts and then you still ain't convinced, you still might have, and then you might look at it and say, this is BS. But you can't really go off of how you feel about the shit because you got to understand that it's people that is really affected based upon them not even having no awareness to the whole situation. They're looking at this shit at face value. Nobody's looking deeper, deeper, deeper into it in the psychological realms. So, the illusory truth effect, which you can Google and search, is very important during elections. Vote for me. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And advertising. Buy this and you'll feel like this. Get this Supreme outfit and you'll be like the rappers. News media. So, of course, they're using it to enhance whatever agenda that they want to push forward after this event, i.e., 9/11, i.e., war with Iraq. And also political propaganda, which the illusory truth effect is used for. And one would say, no, it's a real disease out here. Hood Mystic is not an illusion. This is real. And I would say, you've actually sat and absorbed that shit and made it real. See, what we talking about is a nocebo effect. We all heard of the placebo effect, which is when you take a medicine and then you feel great, but it's sugar water. They got to do this with all pills, and all pills come out 2/3, meaning that a large percentage of people are healed with the mere fact of taking a pill with sugar water. Don't have no medicinal value, but they can take it and be cured and healed. That's how powerful the mind is. That's psychological, not physiological. Okay. And the nocebo effect is them doing everything that they can do for years and years and years to bring upon a certain negative effect or feeling based upon you watching the movies, the newscast every day, the videos of the dudes in the hospital telling you about it. You know, all of these are paid actors doing what they got to do to survive. And if they actually feel like they have the disease, then they mind made it real. And the reason that I'm speaking this is to let people know that everything that's happening is pure illusion and is pure prophecy. This is why we're just discussing the background to the actual energy. So within all of these things, there is a psychological effect that all of us go through. We have a life instinct, meaning we don't have to think about it, it just naturally occurs. And we have a death instinct. If I can actually get and tap in and hijack your neurosynthesis, hijack your ways of thinking, I can actually lead you into a death spiral just based upon my ability to know that you have no awareness of your psychological functions. One, because you study psychology and you think it's in the brain and it's really in the heart. And two, you just don't feel like it's interesting. However, when people tell you things, you just easily accept it and believe it. And this happens in consciousness, right? Where they say, I'll put a hex on you. And I think that this lady put a spell on me because things ain't going right. That's all in the mind. You allow everything to happen to you psychologically. There is no point in time where bad things can happen to you unless you allow it to happen to you in the mind. So with this video is to strengthen your mind, strengthen your awareness, and strengthen your present moment. So yesterday I was referencing the Baphomet and things of that nature, and I know the Baphomet is a chimera, which is an illusion, which is a composite deity, a selection of all of these particular things to prove to be more gruesome than what it actually is. So I reference Baphomet, and then as I'm, CNN bombard in my computer, my phone, my thoughts, even, right? I see this like March 24th after we have the conversation, and it says that the Chris Brown could be a chimera of two different viruses. So I said, wow, the coronavirus is a Baphomet, is an Abraxas? Because this is what a chimera is. Abraxas, Baphomet, is to describe the indescribable, to describe the illusionary principle of authority that exists in the world, but then truly exists in the world. They just masters of illusion, masters of blaspheme. They have hunted, invaded, and killed God. So the repercussions for that is something that I can't even fathom. So as we see these particular what they say, bullets don't have no name on it. Well, these particular bullets seem to have a particular heat energy um, missile seeking system of who it's affecting and who it's not affecting. So as we look here, Eliphas Levi's Baphomet was portrayed as a chimera hermaphrodite with bisexual features, female breasts, and the caduceus for an erect cock-a-doodle-doo, phallic symbolism, and all. There is also the Kundalini tantric images being displayed by the self-caduceus. So the Baphomet energy is not the Baphomet energy when you dig deep into it. It is the Yab Yum energy, the Hindu Vedic energy of man and woman coming together in a tantric energy. And that's really what I've been practicing, but that's really what's giving me this actual information. The information of kind of like not spilling your seed, but really intensifying the love making process with your wife and the time that you spend. Even if you take 2 to 3 minutes to make love and touch and have that sensual feeling, and the glowing, radiant aura around my wife, it's just so beautiful because that seed is just kind of held up in my being, and the lust and the love that I have for her is just strong. So the tantric energy is which is giving me the Baphomet in, is giving me the Baphomet channel. And this Baphomet channel is kind of showing me the illusion that's taking place in real time, where other people, like a mass majority of the world, is looking at this illusionary governmental acting world stage thing as some real authoritative shit. Like they about to tell you some real shit on there. Same thing as watching a movie and thinking that this shit is real. Nobody does that. But somehow we're able to look at the White House and look at them talking that small ass room and it be biblical, actually biblical in real terms. So understanding the Chimera, I wonder, did I not get a definition? So I didn't get a definition. I'll show y'all a definition of it real quick if I took a screenshot of it. Yeah, I did right here. And I don't care if this is boring. Could care less. Chimera is a fire-breathing female monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. A thing that is hoped or wished for, but is in fact illusory or impossible to achieve. So this authoritative um, facade that they're trying to put on day in and day out, as if they care, as if this situation is real, as if this thing is like some serious thing. And even if it is, there is a deeper illusionary aspect to it to begin with, right? That government represents you as much as the sky is hot orange, or the sky can be hot orange sometimes. Maybe what color is the sky? Not green, hot green, neon. Well, the aurora. Damn, the sky is all different types of colors, huh? I'm trying to think the improbability. I'm trying to have an analogy for the improbability that our governing body forces is located in Washington, D.C. and not in our heart, right? So if we actually think that this shit is like they have or hold power, then we need to go back into our Bibles, right? We need to do more research. Okay. So peace to the family. We are and doing it well. So that was the background for what I'm about to read, Revelations chapter 13. And the reason why I'm even referencing Revelations chapter 13, not because I'm a Christian or advocate the Bible, but I know that what's happening right now is just a reenactment of the particular energy based upon a lot of these particular energies are operating on artificial intelligence. Yes, that's right. The people that we watch and see on TV, they do not have a consciousness. They do not have a soul. They only have a script to follow. And when you understand that script, you can interrupt the script and disrupt the frequency. So with these transmissions, whether two people is on this live, I know for a fact that I'm disrupting the frequency of the transmission and I'm up in the ante for our tribe, our people, our spiritual beings that have been oppressed, dealt with, not realized, not spoken to in truth in quite some time, because everybody is speaking to them from the ego personality, even if they perceive to be spiritual. Even that spiritual ego is an ego within ourselves, because I personally don't believe in master teachers or gurus or nothing of that fact. I believe in that in you, anybody that has a heart, that has consciousness, that has awareness is God. There is no hierarchy. I don't care how tight your head wrap is, how many followers you got, how dope your lectures is, how charismatic you are, how much profound information you brought to surface. That don't have nothing to do with this present moment. I say all of that to say, be sure to support your brother at Columbian Exchange with an X.com. With this sigil, I've been breaking down the financial system. As this sigil grows, you will bring more finances into your life and be comfy cozy. I'm gonna break down the sigil for people that's new to this channel that don't understand. They think it just might be some cool shit or me promoting some shit. Shit, this sigil is active based upon however many people done bought into it already. It's already active. It's all over the planet. I ship this sigil all over the world. Okay. Cash, right? The moon, the crescent moon. It's actually a waxing crescent, meaning that your money is growing, whether you know it or not. It can't help but to grow. The moon waxes on schedule. The moon never stops to wax. It always waxes, it always wanes, it always is in movement. But this particular moon is a waxing crescent. The A is for anarchy, meaning a breakdown of the government structure, the breakdown of the financial structure, so you can get yours. It wasn't going to happen based upon the financial structure operating right and exact. 2008, Barack Obama gave trillions of dollars to banks, when the fact is we are account holders in the banks. So why not give us money in our bank accounts? That way the bank can have the money and we could personally have access to it, whether we wanted to kind of, pay our rent and shit, pay our water bill and shit, silly shit like that. But they ain't give us shit, right? They gave all the money to the banks and kicked 5.1 million people out of their home in the years of 2008 to 2010. At the same time, we're giving trillions of dollars to the bank. And I say all of that to say the current system being set up wasn't going to help you with shit. If you wasn't going to pay your rent, your ass was going to get kicked the fuck out your house. So now, through the actual symbol, we have broke down the banking system. We have broke down the court system. You can't get evicted right now. And moving forward, we got the dollar symbol, where people, I don't care if you got a social security number, you got some money coming to you. But where we take it to the next level is with the Saturn glyph. We be responsible. We manage it. We understand how to balance our money, understand our money in all forms and fashion. That's cash. So be sure to visit Colombian Exchange with an X.com and make the investment in yourself. You're not supporting me. You supporting yourself. I done sold this shit. Shout out to Brittany. Shout out to Anaya. They get triple, quadruple blessings because when this was a rinky dink t-shirt that me and my wife printed in our fucking basement, they supported this movement. And now we've grown and expanded, and we've done this based upon the actual fact that the sigil works. And that's my little advertisement. ColombianExchange.com. Colombian Exchange with an X.com. So let's deal with this, because what Revelation 13 is the Baphomet channel, what's happening on the news, and understanding it all. And this is the artificial intelligence for which the government is following right now. This is where they're at in the steps of bringing apocalypse into, which is just the hidden into realization. So the dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horns, and each head a blasphemous name. The beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and the mouth of that of a lion. The dragon gave the beast his power. The dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but his fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. People worshiped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshiped the beast and asked, "Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it?" The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise its authority for 42 months. So, meaning that whoever has the perceived authority they have a particular time for which they can speak this authority, right? They can't speak this authority forever, right? This has been prophecy, this has been documented, and they understand this because they're actually the intelligence that's actually living out the simulation. Once you realize what we do with this truth is stranger than fiction series is, once you realize the script that's being played out, you either disrupt it, change it, alter it, or observe it for what it is. Okay. It opened his mouth to blaspheme God, and God is me and you within our hearts. The God is within our hearts. And when you blaspheme that, the best way to blaspheme it is not to recognize within your heart the God within, right? That's blaspheme within itself, but they double down because they don't recognize it and speak to it. To slander his name and his dwelling place in those who live in heaven, those who live within their hearts, right? HEA, right? HEART, heart, HEA, heaven. So when you live in heaven, live in your heart, your dwelling place, this is something that you have to actually self-realize. But however, the actual powers that be, the artificial intelligence simulation don't make it easy. The same way as you play in a video game, they not going to just show you the way to win. It's got to be some competition challenge. That's what makes a game good. So, it was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. So the dragon actually makes me think about D-Ray and Dreamwise real quick because they actually been speaking about the dragon. And so the dragon is giving the beast power. So once you remove the beast and start to interface with the dragon or the serpentine or the kundalini energy and don't let Donald Trump suck up your energy, right? You begin to deal with the serpent or the dragon personally, then you get the codes and authority just like them, and then the blasphemous is over, right? So it was given power to wage war against God's holy people, me and you, and conquer them, right? And it was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. This is just the government. All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written in the Lamb's book of life, the Lamb who was slain from the creation of the world. Whoever has ears, let them hear. And I just did a song called A Girl Named Jesus, which is actually my version of what I feel like Jesus is, the divine feminine. So the slain lamb is the divine feminine, the goddess of the heart, which is available, but we just don't really pay attention to it. And that's the sacrifice, where you think that it's dead, but it's not really dead, and that's actually the resurrection. The realization that it was never dead, you just wasn't aware of it. So whoever has ears, let them hear. Whoever has ears, let them hear. If anyone is to go into captivity they will go. If anyone is to be killed with the sword they will be killed. This calls for patient endurance and faithfulness on the part of God's people. So, this is a point in time where you either buy into the illusion or you buy into your truth of God and your realization of God being within, or the God is rising, the Kundalini rising from the base of your spine, activating your heart, coming through your throat chakra, allowing you to speak truth, and the connection with your third eye, connection to ancestors, and all of this being in your left hand and right hand, your yin and yang, being one with your divine masculine, divine feminine, and all of this energy is awakening the God within. And with the God within is authority and power. However, if you're looking on TV for that particular power, um, so the beast out of the earth. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. So the first beast is coming out of the emotions, the second beast is coming out of the physicality. And this is another chimera, another illusion coming out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, but made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs, it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast. It deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast so that the image could speak, because all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. So, in understanding this mark, it could be looked at as the vaccinations and then the cryptocurrency that's about to come down the pipe, where you're not able even to buy things or even to, operate in this cashless society unless you accept these particular 666 doctrines or change over to this new monetary system and new medical system that's really monitored and, overall crazy shit. But the idea is to be aware of what's happening in the future and figure out an escape route, an escape plan, figure out how to come together, how to live more natural, so forth and so on, or else one would be continuing to live under this illusionary world. So this calls for wisdom. It's a lot of things that's happening that really calls for wisdom, that really calls for the father of wisdom, the Baphomet, which is just the ancestors speaking in an actual conversation and actually having channel intuition, wisdom, energy, or knowledge that's beyond your conscious mind or normal way of being. This is wisdom. And let the person who has insight, meaning the person who could actually see within their heart, calculate the number of the beast, actually see within them this matrix or simulation that's taking place. For it is the number of a man, and the man being the fifth degree of sentience. However, we are water, the first degree of sentience, meaning that we are everything. We share one mind, one heart, and one goal. And if you don't, then you fall in the realms of man and you are sentient, but you are in the realms of being authoritative over. You are being ruled over by an illusionary government. This is a wake up call for people to go back into nature and figure that shit out. We got 10 years, which is more than enough time to figure this shit out. And we can let these motherfuckers have it. You feel me? But as far as me and mine, it's time to go. So, the truth is stranger than fiction, ladies and gentlemen. That has been a presentation, episode 14. Be sure to join me in the Slack, uh, www.hoodmystic.com. Support, join the Slack, and I'll actually do a tapped in right now, but I'm gonna end this live. And if you want to, you can join me at www.hoodmystic.com. Support, join the Slack. If you on the desktop, you don't have to download an app, but if you are on the phone, you do have to download a quick app. And once you download that app, you'll join the group, and I'll be there right now. So be sure to come on over to the Slack right now. I'm about to start a Zoom session. So peace to the family. I just need to get that information out. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for more videos and more information. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.